Hello everyone, hopefully you're all doing well. Welcome to a new game that only just come out a few days ago actually. It has been released. Welcome to Sandustry. Now I've been waiting for this game for probably just over a year now. I've played many hours in the demo when they first bring it out. Um, Really amazing game and I couldn't wait for it to come out. I've been in their Discord chat monitoring and watching all the new things and new features that are in it, and it has finally been released. So I thought it'd be something to add to the channel, that would be another sort of factory game. And what we do is we pretty much mine a little bit of stuff here. Just grab a little bit, that should be enough. If we go ahead and grab our grabber here and pick up the sand, drop it in there, we'll get wet sand. Now what we can do from there is if we shake it, once we turn it on, um, we'll pick it all up again. If we shake it, we will get a bit of gold. Now from that gold, we will also get residue, which will be a thing that we will be using to extract more gold later on as we get our production chains going. We also got a little thing here. This is a automatic shaker that we can actually use. So the same thing is if we grab some wet sand from here, grab that last piece there and chuck that on top of there, grab all this residue out of here. Where is it? There it is. We grab our gold, we'll bring it back over here. We can see that it's turned that wet sand into residue automatically, and we don't have to do anything with that. And if we go ahead and chuck some more up there, it will do the same thing. So that's our first step of automation there, and all that residue will actually just roll off the end here. We can see we've got all of our gold here. So what we can do is we can go ahead and just completely mine this out here. And I believe this just connects down the bottom, which it does. So we can just drill all the way down here and then just connect this water up. And that will give us all of our wet sand. Like so. So then all we can do is just grab that wet sand, chuck it up on top of there. We can go ahead and grab some more. Now we can grab some more from there, and we can absolutely load this thing up. So it's just constantly running. As you'll see, the wet sand will slowly fall down as it starts getting to be a bit more full. We can grab all this residue here and just move it over so we don't have to deal with all of it. I think we might possibly have some blocks as well. We do. We might just chuck those there just to help prevent it from coming over. Now, with this gold, it currently isn't anything for us until we go ahead and build a collector. Now, this collector turns the gold and actually gives us a value up here. So if we go ahead and clean this out a bit, so let's just say we're going to put a gold collector here. We go ahead and put some collectors in there, and we go ahead and grab that gold and drop it in there. You'll see we have got 25. We go again, we'll have 50, and we'll have a little bit less than the next, whatever the next number is. But we can keep doing that over and over. We can go ahead and grab the dry sand, chuck it into the wet sand, or chuck it in the water to get wet sand, and eventually just use all of this. Now this is not only what we do, this is only just the start till we get some cash, but once we have got that cash, we can do many more things to help with our automation, to make it faster, to make it more efficient. So what we can do from here, we've currently got a little bit of gold down here. We'll just go ahead and collect all that. Collect all that gold there as well. And we'll collect these couple last bits here. You can see all of our residue is built up here. That is not a problem. That will just go off the end here. And the cool thing is, wet sand is actually heavier than the residue, so it always hits the bottom first. Alright, so we have a research tree here. We'll also see over here that our goal is to reach factory tier 2, which to unlock factory tier 2, we need to shake wet sand and we need to shake 4,000. Currently we're sitting at 525. Our secondary objectives is unlock hover, build conveyor belt in the water, find fluxorite, and unlock upgrade the grabber. Now, you might be asking, what is fluxorite? Now, fluxorite is used for our upgrades, and we won't actually unlock those until we find them. So, what we'll do is we'll just chuck some more sand on here and let that keep processing. We'll have a look at our upgrades. Now, first thing we're probably going to get is our conveyor belts and launchers. Conveyor belts are pretty self-explanatory. Launchers are something that goes straight up or on an angle. It works very similar to like a elevator, as you could call it. We've also got filters here. Our hover, we can go ahead and grab our hover. That now, we could always fly, but we can't actually phase through anything. Now with having hover, we can hit space and hover through all of these blocks, no matter what they are. So we're pretty much just sitting in front of them. And then when we turn the hover off, we sit inside or on top of whatever blocks we're currently standing on. So yeah, pretty cool. We've got that now. Go ahead and throw this gold into here. Now next thing, we can get a sprint boost, we can get a map, a flare gun, and a wall light. But we need to go ahead and shake all of this stuff here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get a elevator onto this level here and a launcher going straight up. Now you'll see the launcher will pick sand up and throw it onto that conveyor belt for us. Now obviously it's not going to get all the way over there, so what we have to do is run a conveyor to there, and we can also run a conveyor on that side to help clear out all of the sand that's over here as well. We might have a little bit of an issue with this dry sand because we don't have enough water in here, maybe. We might actually see a little bit on here. Now with this, we might have a little bit of an issue here. So what I'm going to do is just get that to go a little bit further there. Just to help try and actually push that stuff off. Obviously our residue is building up here quite a bit. This is not the final build, this is just a starting area for now, until we can actually get to that next space. There isn't really a height limit in this game. We can build as high as we want. We can build massive silos to hold all this stuff, which is eventually what we're going to be doing. Now we can see some of the wet sand is actually falling down here. So there's a little bit too much on that belt. Not to worry, because we will eventually sort it all out and it will fix itself up. Go ahead and grab the rest of the sand that's on here and even some of the sand on there. Drop that in as well, just to keep things moving here. And we'll see there's a little bit of dry sand on there. We'll go ahead and grab some more, chuck that down, grab that last little bit of sand there. There's a little bit more sand there. I don't think we're going to have enough water for it. So what we're going to do is we'll just throw the rest of that sand just over there for now. In fact, we could almost probably... Oh, that's going straight up the top there, which is what we don't want. Go ahead and throw that sand back there and whatever else is here. I think there's a little bit more sand there. There absolutely is. Now we can see that our residue is pretty full here. So we're going to grab some more and move it over a little bit just to help get that sand down. is we have quite a lot of it. And don't worry, we will be coming to pick all this back up a little bit later. At the moment, it's just a little pile for now. I'm going to stop moving all of that residue just to help out with all the sand that's actually up here at the moment, just until that clears it all. We actually have a little bit of wet sand down here as well. Somehow it's snuck down. But we do have quite a bit of gold here now. So we can go ahead and just chuck that into our collectors. And we can start moving on to some bigger projects. Now, I already did record a episode series of this. When I was editing it, it had corrupted the whole file of the video. So I'm starting out fresh again. I'm going to be using ideas that I had in the last video I made. I won't spoil any of it. We're just going to go back in and have another go. So we do have some more water here, as well as some dirt here. We also have a couple more things. We can actually clear that out from there, and we could probably chuck that last little bit of sand in there and grab the rest of that wet sand and chuck that all up there. I think there might be a little bit more wet sand. There is. Cool. So we'll just let that do its thing. While we're waiting for that, let's see what can we get. So we can get a map. We can get the sprint. Or we save up for filters. I'm going to personally save up 4 filters. Only because they come in very handy for things. Especially when working with different types of sand. From dry sand to wet sand. So you don't really want to be sending wet sand or dry sand up to the system, because when you do that, when you put dry sand over here, it actually does not work, and can cause issues later down the track, especially if you have a big operation there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over here for now. We're just going to build a big silo. This is going to be for all of our gold, so we don't have to worry about overfilling it just of now. So we can chuck a launcher into there. We'll chuck all of our new collectors into there, like so. And we'll just throw all this gold from here just into there. So hopefully we don't run out of space, because as you've seen with just that little bit of sand, we did fill up this a little bit. So I do like to build these fairly big, that way later down the track it's not so much of an issue. So we can go ahead and just get rid of that from there, and we'll go ahead and just build our new system here. So we'll grab all of our bits. First thing I'm going to do is just chuck a conveyor belt into here, and then one going this way. And then from there, I'm going to build a launcher way up here, like so. I'm going to put some walls around it. That way nothing gets flung out to the sides or anything. We'll just make it to water level. And I'll just block up that for now. That way no water goes down there when we start filling this up with sand. Okay, now from here, we're going to build a little system here. This is going to be for our shakers. Now, as you would have seen, there was a lot of sand that came off that that one bit, right? So what we're going to do is from let's go to here. Let's just build straight across here for now. This is where the gold's going to land for now. In fact, what we can do is probably something like that, and then something like that. And then the residue will fall straight off here. And what I'll do from here is come up to about there and sand another one down. And then from here, send another one down from there. Okay, and then we'll go straight across from here. And then we're going to just build a pit for now. And this is going to be for all of our residue here. So what we'll do is from here, we'll just run a conveyor belt straight across and our launcher straight up into there with a second launcher just there. And that will help hopefully throw all of this in there so we're not wasting too much time dealing with it. And as you can see, it is throwing it all into there. Now, as it doesn't really have much use for us at the moment, it's probably going to build up pretty significantly, especially when we get further on here and we start sort of really working through the sand here. And from here on, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So I do have a couple ideas on how I'm going to build this. That should be all of it. That's all just going to go straight into here into a pile for now. Most of the gold should fall on here for now. Hopefully, anyway. And what I'm going to do is just grab a launcher for now. And just chuck a couple of launchers here just to throw it around. Then I'll grab a couple of collectors here just to sort of hold it in place here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start digging in here. And some of our sand will already fall straight down there. So we're just going to dig this open all the way to the other side, then we'll take the roof off. And once we sort of progress a bit further, we can, those upgrades that we use Fluxorite with, we can actually use that to make our digging faster. So can't wait to start finding some of that. Now I'm just going to grab a bit of this to just throw it on there for now. But as you will see, the water level is actually changing here. So I'm just going to build down a little bit lower here just to help with that. And I'll build the conveyor along here just to help clear some of this sand off. And you'll watch as the sand enters the water, it actually does, like the water level does come up a bit. As you can see how much higher it is already from this side, as the sand is currently falling in there. So what I'm also going to do, just to help with water, or just to help prevent the water from coming down into this mine shaft, we're going to just throw that block in there, and that will actually block the water from coming back. Just throw all this onto here. And as you look up in the top left hand corner, you'll see the currency is actually going up as we are collecting gold. And we'll probably see a little bit of residue falling down here. There it is. As it's slowly going down, we're not overloading the system too much just yet. But what we do have is enough currency to actually buy the filter here. Now, what I'm going to be filtering out is the wet sand. So where I've actually got this is actually going to be wet sand. Allow wet sand through, but keep the residue. And the reason I've got that is all this excess residue can just flow straight down here. We don't need it to fall down here because it's only going to sit here and take time to go down when we can just throw it straight off the system here. Now I don't need to add one of those here because where we're going to put it, it needs to go down this side anyway. But we can see our gold is building up fairly quickly here. And eventually we'll get it to be thrown over here. But for now, this system is working pretty well. How much sand do we have? We still have a little bit of sand down here. While we're waiting for that, we might just do a little bit more digging here. Get plenty of sand from here. We've actually found a little bit of water, which is pretty good. It's going to help us out for now. But it means we're just going to turn this sand straight into wet sand. So what we can do here is we can change this to say sand, which is just dry sand, and we can send it straight into here. Right, and we can go straight into there like so. And then what will happen is if we just drop this, if we drop dry sand here and then say we drop some wet sand in front of it, as it slowly goes along, we will see the dry sand will fall down into the water and the wet sand will just pass along here. Actually, a little bit more there, I forgot. And that will go straight up into the chute. Here you'll see it'll drop down and then it'll pick back up and head straight up the top here. Alright, we actually do have a bit of currency now, so let's go ahead and buy the sprint boost. We'll also buy the map. We can also buy the flare gun. We almost have enough sand that's been shaken to get us to the tier 2. We're not too far away from that. I just want to drop all of this dry sand into here just to get rid of this water. And we'll throw it all up onto here. Throw the rest of it onto here. Just to get it all gone. There we go. There's a little bit more just there. We can just chuck a little bit of sand on it, and there we go. Cool. So we'll just load this conveyor belt up for now. And we'll just keep on digging. Might even dig down a little bit. Create a little bit of a pit. And what we'll do is we'll just take out those two there. Because as we're digging straight down here, we're going to put a launcher straight from here, straight up. And you'll see the sand is going to start being picked up from here and thrown straight on the conveyor belt, so we don't have to do it now. And then we'll just clear out the rest of this bit of sand here. Okay. So we're going to have plenty of sand. We should have enough to finish off that mission there, or our objective, and hopefully get us to our tier 2. Go ahead and just throw all of this down here. We could even make our lives a little bit easier by just running it through a conveyor belt, which is what we're going to do. I'll just grab these last little bits here. There we go. Cool. That's all of that. We'll grab these last bits. We'll throw them down as well, so they're not sitting up there. We actually forgot a little one there. And as we dig into here, you'll see the sand actually gets flung back as we're digging. So throwing it all back that way is fine. Hopefully it all keeps dropping down here. So in fact we can just keep on digging here. Get all this sand out of here, all this dirt. I think this is dirt and then it turns into sand as we mine it. We can do a little bit more here. As you can see, we've got a lot of dry sand here now. So we'll just keep on going here. We'll get a nice big pit going here. So then we can start our next one. Okay, so from here, we'll get a conveyor going straight across this way. And we'll just put a launcher into there to help get rid of it all. Grab the sand out of the bottom here. There we go. And as we can see, we are now on the next tier here. So we can unlock that tier, and we've got a few more things here. We've also got our little guy telling us some things. So, additional tech tree routes approved. It's also time to start thinking about your water supply. Tag the location in some ancient boiler ruins on your map, which is, as you can see, since we unlocked the map, we can see right here that there is something just here. You've unlocked the flamethrower. It might give you ideas on how to get cave water flowing to your factory. Okay, so we've now also unlocked that flamethrower, which is going to cost us 400, which is not a problem. We can afford that. It is pretty cheap. We can also get ourselves a conveyor portal once we save up enough cash for that. How are we going for water? I'd say we're going alright for now. There's a bit of sand here. We'll grab that. We'll chuck that onto here. Just grab... actually, we'll dig down a little bit further here. Oh, we've found ourselves a little chamber here. You have a look around. This here is fluxite. So as we mine this, we will get fluxite. So as you see up in the top left hand corner, you'll see a F there, and that stands for how much fluxite we have. Now if we go to our upgrades, since we found it, we have unlocked the upgrades. As we can see here, we can see a material scanner, extended capacity, a hydro sponge, as well as extended range, vapor blast, digging speed, and the broader shovel, which just allows a larger dig area. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grab the digging speed, the expanded capacity, and the mineral scanner. And what that does is if we grab our grabber now, we can see sand interacts with water. We can see water interacts with sand, seed, lava, flames. It's flammable and it is freezable. We've also got our moss here, which is also flammable. And what we can do is we can just light this to help try and get rid of it. Like so. We've also got a bit of ice here that if we hover over, we can see it's meltable. I don't want to melt it just yet, not until there's a system set up here to be able to collect the water from it. So what we'll go ahead and do is just burn the rest of all of this moss here, since we don't want it here and it is a bit of a nuisance to have. As you get stuck on it everywhere you sort of walk. Go ahead and burn the moss from there as well. Cool, and that should be pretty much all of it. Now we do have a bit of water in here. We can actually drop our sand in here, and as you'll notice, our grabber is a bigger square. Now it's a 9x9, and we were originally on a 6x6, I believe, or a 5x5, or was it a 4x4? I think it was a 6x6, pretty sure, or 5x5. And now we've got the 9x9, which is pretty cool to have. So we're going to just grab all this wet sand and chuck it up the top here for now. Just to get rid of it, we'll grab some more dry sand and drop that in there. Just to help get rid of the water. I don't like having water around too much. Um, it just becomes a nuisance and it goes further down the lines. And I don't really, well, it's not really a nuisance. I just prefer to use it up then and there and save the water up the top as we are limited at the moment. Okay, so we can grab all this dry sand and throw it up on here as well. It's not going to be a issue. Okay, so that is all of that now. Oh, there's a couple more bits here. Let's go ahead and fill up that square, chuck those up, and we'll grab this last little bit and just chuck it on this side here. I won't open this up just yet, but we're going to go and have a look over here at what is going on with this old boiler here. The first thing I'm going to do is scrap this whole thing, only because it's going to be in the way of our new system here. So when we go ahead and start breaking down this water into steam or heating it up into steam, it will go up into the clouds and turn into water. So what we want to do is we want to be able to use that water, right? So we know it's going to come up here. So what we can do is something like this. So as it goes up here, we'll go from here and probably work down. I'm thinking is going to be our best option here. We'll make this look a little bit nicer here. We'll just chuck some stairs on there and some stairs on there. Right, now from here, our steam is going to go straight up. Sort of. Now, we might actually just get rid of that just to help get some more steam out of here. Something like that, just to help get more steam out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to send it off to the right here. And we'll build something like this. Well, actually, we don't really need this here, so we'll clear this away. And go straight down here. We can go straight down here. And we can go straight up here. What we will do is just get this to go up a little bit more. Like so, just to help prevent the water from coming back down and going into back into the steam generator or the ancient ruins there. So we're just going to go straight up here. I think it's about here that we can build it to. And then what I'll do from here is I'll actually build a little area here. In fact, we'll go one more, something like that. And then on this side, I think it was a 2 that I made it. So we'll just stick to the 2. Let's go straight across like so. Connect this down here and connect it up there. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Something... if I can get it right, there we go. And then something like that. That way we can create the maximum amount of efficiency with our water. And what we'll do is we'll build straight back down here. Like so. And there we go. Now we need to build our water catchment area. So we'll just go ahead and build a little bit of a area for this to fill up for now. Build it so it fills up to this area here. We'll put a wall on it. That will go across to roughly there, and all of our water will actually get caught up into here. So now, as we go down here, So we got some water tanks here. We got a big water tank here. These rounds show a natural system for collecting water from caves. Boil water into steam and let it rise. Once high enough, it condenses into rain, which is what I was talking about earlier. Use blocks to direct the steam and create a natural rain catcher. Right, so now if we go ahead and just heat all of this water up here, we're going to naturally empty those water tanks that are on the side. This is going to take a little bit of time. But as the steam sort of fills up into here, we're just going to stop it so it doesn't go too much further. That way we don't lose any steam or lose any water. Yeah, that's probably enough there for it. I think we're still going to lose a little bit of steam. There it goes there. It's actually just been caught in here, which is alright. Oh man, I forgot to actually put those bits on there. Okay. Well, all this water is just going to sit here for now. We'll use this just to collect it. It's not going to be a big issue. We seem to have water falling over here as well. Interesting. Let's just head back up here and see what that's about. I think that might have just been a little bit of rain that had escaped here. Now, I don't think this is actually high enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little bit higher. That should be high enough there. Come back down here. Do the same thing. Build this all the way up here. Put a roof across it. We can see that steam is slowly building up to here. And if we get rid of that, there we go, we can see the cloud there. It will actually start turning into water. So we'll head all the way down here. And we should see that water starting to fall down. And as you can see, as it's falling down, we're not sending it back into that system. It's going straight down and filling up in here. And as that water fills up into here, it will slowly fill our tank up to this point here. It won't fill any higher, which is a pretty good height. That's exactly what we need. We don't need too much water, but we do need water at the same time. Sorry about that. Got a bit of hiccups there. So we can go ahead and probably just heat up a bit more of this. We haven't got too much water left. We're actually halfway now. But yeah, as this steam is slowly working its way up, we're slowly going to be using it. But if we have a little bit of storage of it, it's not going to hurt. Okay, so we'll leave it at about there. There should be hopefully just enough for it to slowly work through all of that. As it's slowly working its way up in through here and working its way up the top here. Now it is limited by the system that is here, so we just have to wait. But if we head over here, we can see that the water has stopped at this level here, and we're now filling up our water tank here. So since we've actually got this set up here, we can actually get rid of that and let it work from there. Now, since we've got our water there, we've got everything we pretty much need. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit more digging here. How much gold do we have? We actually have a lot of it. So let's go ahead and just chuck some into here and see how high we can actually just stack this up to. Uh, let's have a look. Can we get enough? We can. We can get the central portal, or the conveyor portal. So what we can do from there is, what I like to do is put a filter conveyor here. I'll run this straight across here. I'll put a box into here as well, which in fact we can probably run it all the way to there. And same with those filter conveyor belts. The reason why I do filter conveyor belts is because it will fill up one side and slowly work across. Whereas if we use a normal conveyor, it will hit a point and it won't actually accept any more. So if we chuck our collectors all into here, we get rid of these collectors here, we can get rid of this launcher here. I don't think we have any gold down here. No. That's all of our gold should stay up here, hopefully. What we might have to do is maybe put a wall in here. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, we might actually have to just change this up a little bit. So if I copy that and cut that from there and put it in, where'd that just go? Okay, well that's not here anymore. Go ahead and just chuck that into there. We can go ahead and grab our, might actually just take one more out of here and put our wall into there. And grab a launcher and just chuck it into there. We can also grab our conveyor belt, our normal conveyor belt, chuck that into there. We'll grab a conveyor belt for here. Might actually just go one lower. Something like that there. Go ahead and grab a launcher, chuck that all into there. And then what we can do is we can grab our portals here and just chuck them on like that. That will now just load our new bolt up pretty much. It will collect the gold from the bottom, it will collect the gold from the top. It will make all of that work. Now, if we have a look here, we can see we've got a massive pile of residue here. We can see that our bin is fairly full here as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to build another big pit here for this residue as a massive storage for now. Just grab all that so those blocks actually do line up. We'll grab a few of these launchers here. We'll chuck one there. And we'll grab another one and chuck it one higher. And I'd just like to grab a conveyor belt and chuck it into there. Now we can see that is throwing it all the way on the other side now. And we can see we're going to start clearing this out of here. And also go ahead and just remove all of this here because it doesn't need to be there anymore. And another thing is we're going to grab a conveyor belt and just chuck it into there like so. And we'll grab this here, run that to there. And then just fill that in like so. The reason for that is the gold will actually, if we collect the residue from here and actually chuck it on this one like so, chuck it a little bit further down, we grab some gold here and let it run all the way along. You'll see the gold actually falls in underneath the residue and it will go over here. So the plan for that is once it hits here, it will go into the same thing here and be sent up. like so. There we go. And that's all working its way back into there. Let's grab all this and throw this back over so we're not wasting it or wasting time over here with it. Okay, so that should be all of that. Now, if we were to head down here and go ahead and collect some more sand and throw it up the top here, since we have a bit of it, go ahead and just dig this out of here. We don't need it here, so we'll just go and knock it down. Get a little bit of sand from it. Guess we'll take this part out as well. And we just go ahead and collect all that sand, chuck it up here for now. I do believe we got a little bit of wet sand here, which is why those two specks weren't actually being picked up. You can see all that sand is heading into here. If we have a look at the water, we've got plenty of it sitting there now. Okay, now, before I do this, I need to get that steam to actually head over into here. Now, the way I'm probably going to do this is probably putting well, there's already a roof over it. It won't actually go in through these conveyor belts at all, so we don't have to worry about that. What I need it to do is to head into here. To head up into here, not with that, but with this, facing that way. Oh, I'm really messing things up here. Like that, and that way that will actually help the water stay in its column, and it will help the steam go up there. And we can also do the same thing just there. And we go ahead and grab one of these conveyor belts and chuck it into there. We should see as we come down here and melt the steam. Got a couple of flares here. We can throw these around everywhere, light up the place a little bit. They do bounce around a bit. They eventually lock in place. So that's pretty cool. We go ahead and melt all this down. Actually see we've got a little path up here, and that's what leads to there. So what I'm going to do is try to hopefully design something before that steam comes up. It's actually locked in there, which is fine. Yeah, okay. Probably something like this would do it. I'm going to try and give it a go and see how it reacts. The steam will pop up in through here, and then it will go up through here, and then if we just grab some of these things here, which it's not going to want to let me place them, that is alright, I guess. We'll let the water flow back down there, that's fine. We're going to heat it up anyway. We should see it will also make its way up here. We can go ahead and make it a little bit easier for it by doing something like that. That will help with that. Now, another thing we can do to help prevent water from actually falling into here is building something like this. That will help the water definitely not fall back down here, because we don't want it to end up down here, because if it starts filling up here, then it's just going to fill up all into here, and we don't want that. Eventually we can get something to help us pick up water. Hopefully we might be able to get pretty soon. So we'll go ahead and heat the rest of this up. We do have some more flux right here, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Cool, let's see if we can actually get any upgrades. We need 300 for that one, so we can't do that just yet. We do have something going on here. Needs a bit of melting down, so we can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and melt this, and let's see what is going on down here. Okay, so looks like can't go there. That looks like a flame. So let's go ahead and light that up. Do some cool little burning things there as it's getting burnt. I don't know exactly what that is, but it looks cool. So it's going to let a little bit of snow down. And now we can walk across it. And we can grab ourselves one of these artifacts. Now, one will go into the argument forge, and another one will get us our swift movement so we can get some faster speed. So now we are a little bit faster. What we're also going to do is we're just going to head and heat up this water here. Hopefully the steam decides to actually go the right way, not the wrong way. I can heat the rest of it up here. There we go. It's gone up the right way. It's getting a little bit trapped there. That's alright, we can't really do too much about that. If we go ahead and heat this water up here, it's going to go ahead and do the same thing, and it's all going to work its way up the top here and come out through our vent up here. We can also see a little bit of water there, so I guess that can just drop in there. That's not going to be a issue at all. Let's go ahead and just heat this full up. The more water we can get now, the better it will be. What I'm also going to do before I do anything else is I'm actually just going to lock this passage off to prevent any steam from going anywhere we don't want it to. Especially down here, we don't need it to go down here. We don't want it to go down here. So that will work its way over there. Go ahead, we can go and keep heating all this up. Do it a little bit quicker by moving the cursor around a bit. And we can see that it's slowly coming down, and the amount of steam we are making as well. Have absolutely plenty of water. We're not going to have an issue with that for a long time now. Should be enough for now. I think we're starting to really block up some of this. I might as well light this up while we're at it. Always these last little bits, I can't seem to get them sometimes. There we go. We do have a bit of steam up there, not too much left here, so we'll quickly knock all this out as well. Let's actually have a look at these upgrades real quick. Vapor Blast. Let's go ahead and just grab that. There we go, look how much quicker that is. That is exactly what we want. Okay, so that's going to slowly work its magic and eventually work its way up the top here, which we can see as it's working its way up the top, it will slowly get us more and more things. What I'm going to do is to help with all of this steam get out here. I'm just going to actually extend this a little bit just to help get some more steam out. You're going to have quite a bit. We can see our water tank is still slowly filling up, which is good. We don't have too much going on over here just yet. Alright, now we need to press burnt residue. Now burnt residue is pretty simple. It's pretty much just grabbing this and burning it, and it will create burnt residue, which slow and steadily it will. I don't think we're going to have enough to be able to make or to get out 3,000, I don't think. So while that's burning, we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit more digging here. And we're also going to set up some conveyor belts very shortly to get all this out of here. I'm not too worried about heating up that water there, only because I want to actually use it to make some more wet sand. It'd be better use for it than actually just heating it up. So it means we can get it straight into straight into our system. There we go, slowly turning it all into water or into wet sand. Interesting, we've actually got water coming back down here. Ah, that is because our water has reached its maximum. Interesting. I didn't realize we actually have... I didn't build that all the way up to the top. Should hopefully help it out now. But yeah, I need to start using some of this water to get that down so I can place a gravity portal there. Go ahead, keep digging down here for a little bit. Shouldn't see any more water coming down there now. Okay, so we seem to have hit rock bottom now. I'll just dig a path straight up this way. Now we'll dig another one straight down. And then we'll send a launcher straight to the bottom of this. That should hopefully get all of this sand up the top. Okay, so from here, I'm going to put a launcher in probably about there. We'll chuck another conveyor belt in. I'm also going to just chuck a wall up into here to prevent water from falling down here, as well as any sand that might possibly do so. We'll grab another conveyor, chuck it into there, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll just prevent anything from falling down here. I might just chuck a second launcher on here as well. Chuck a wall in behind it. I'll chuck a wall up to there. And we'll go some conveyor belts straight across here. Probably something like that. Probably take a little bit of that away and try to design this as best as I can. I'll just dig out another row here. There we go. And if we build a launcher, say probably from there, straight up, should hopefully work. There we go. And I'll start throwing some sand up. I'm actually going to chuck a second one on here as well. That goes a little bit high just to help get rid of the sand that's there. And I'm just going to start digging here to throw some sand off to the side. And we've actually found another little room here. We'll go ahead and see what this is about. Okay, so it looks like we got a little bit of ice here. Oh, that's not what we're after. Interesting. Can I use a flamethrower here? Use a flamethrower here. Oh, it's frostbed. We can actually mine that. That creates a little bit of snow here to freeze up some of the water that's down below. There we go. If we head over here, we can now cross it and grab our second artifact here. So we'll always have one for our forge argument, or our argument forge, one of the two. And let's have a look. Let's go ahead for endurance, 50% speed boost duration. I don't think we need to gain max speed from launchers or conveyors. I don't think we're going to need that just yet. So that should be fine. We can't collect anything from there, so that is all done there. Now we've got some stuff that's indestructible there. Go ahead and just dig a bit of this stuff here. Go ahead and just fill this pit up a little bit more. Okay, so it looks like we found another little room here. I want to be careful not to send too much down here. So I don't really want to launch the sand down here. I want to try and get it to stay on this one side here. If I can help it. A little bit more sand there. Try not to waste any of it. Stuff is very precious to us. Okay, we'll just go ahead and just dig out the rest of this here. Like so. We'll grab the sand and just chuck it in there manually. It's not going to be an issue. Try and collect as much as we can in this one scoop if we can help it. There we go. There's actually more falling down here. Go, let it collect all the sand that's here, and we've actually got a little bit more just here. If I can get it to go up, there we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and just melt some of this down. It's going to give us a little bit of water down here, which is not a problem. We can obviously just get rid of it. There we go. And we got some more fluxrite. Actually a little bit more to our left as well, so we'll go ahead. It was actually a bit more. There we go. And we'll go ahead down here and just collect some of this as well. There we go. And we'll start clearing some of the sand from here. Okay. This is going to create snow, which is going to be a little bit of an issue for us because it's then going to create some ice. But if I can quickly just get rid of it. Actually, can I use... No, so it actually has to be hit create snow, so that's alright. We can quickly knock this out and then just melt it down. We'll get some water from it. Oh, we actually got some more flux right here. That's pretty nice. Okay. Now, before I keep going, I just want to try and get rid of some of this sand from here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll move this down here for now, and we'll throw something onto here. We'll get like a conveyor belt going across here. Something like that. And then we'll build a wall there just to keep it all contained. And try and knock out most of this water before it turns to ice. So I'm probably not going to have fun dealing with it once it turns back to steam, because it's going to want to end up somewhere that I probably don't want it. So we'll go ahead and just grab some more of this dry sand. I don't think we can grab snow. We absolutely can. I'm just going to chuck it out of the way for now. Because I believe when you melt snow, it turns directly into steam. I don't really want that going around. I'll just test it here. Yeah, turns straight into steam. That's alright. We can just go ahead and melt that down. That isn't going to be an issue, I don't think. It's not really going to go far, I don't think. I think it's going to go straight up and cloud up into here, yeah. We're building that conveyor belt straight under it, so as we're mining up, it's actually going to help with getting rid of this sand straight away, which is why I like to do that. And some things I like to do is actually let it build up before it takes it. There you go. So I'm going to stop here and just build another conveyor belt across for now, just to prevent losing it down on the ground there. As I start mining straight up here. There we go. Get this last little bit here. Beautiful. We can grab this sand from down here as well. In fact, we'll grab a bit of this dry sand here just to turn into wet sand. Of course, it's not going to want to be so cooperative though. Alright, let's try and see how much we can get rid of here. Not too much left. I do believe it is a 2-to-1 ratio, so if I were to grab, say, if I were to grab just 1 pixel of, hang on, before I do this, let's just grab all of the wet sand that's around here. Then if I go ahead and just grab 1 pixel of dry sand and chuck it into there, yeah, I get 2 pixels of wet sand. So it is a 2-to-1 ratio, which is pretty sweet. There we go. Go. Oh, that's all melted. We can go ahead and melt that last bit there. And digging this isn't going to really help anything because this is just moss. So it's not really going to help us, but I don't really want to burn it, only because I don't want to make any more steam than I already have. So we'll grab a bit of this wet sand here, chuck it up here. Chuck it down here. bit more wet sand. We'll grab some more dry sand, chuck a little bit up there, chuck a little bit there. Cool. And now we should just be able to get our flamethrower and just burn all of that moss there. That will clear it all away. Interesting. We've got a little bit of something going on here. I wonder what that is. Something down below that's actually glowing there. Okay. We've got some more flux, right? So let's have a look at our tools here. Increase the maximum grabber size from 5x5 to 33x33. So it looks like, what can we hold now with that? We can go to a 15x15 now, so that's a pretty big chunk there. Let's go up and have a little look at what is going on up the top here, shall we? Okay, so we can see here. There we go. We can let water trickle into there now. In fact, we can even put a second one there if we wanted to as well, even a third one just to help really fill that up. And that's just going to fill that all the way up there until it's full on this side. There we go. We can see our gold is slowly filling up as we're collecting it. We can see that a lot of our wet sand is only going through the first stage. It's not actually touching the second stage, which is good. And a lot of our residue is flying straight off, which is also good to see. But we are seeing the wet sand slowly flow down here. We are only running a very simple system. This isn't for a bulk amount of sand just yet. But once we start getting a lot more sand through here and we consider upgrading it, that is when we're going to start getting pretty serious with this sort of stuff. But we can see that our residue is slowly filling up. We do have a lot of it coming down, a lot of it going up. And we are turning a lot of sand into wet sand, which is good. We've still got plenty of water, which is not an issue as well. So we can head down here. In fact, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just heat up this water again. Maybe not with that one, but with that one there. There we go. Look how much steam we're creating. It's a lot quicker done now. And we get these last little pixels here. There's one, there's two. There is only one more there. Oh no, it's gone now. Yeah, we can see all that's going to head up the top there and slowly turn back into water for us. Now from here, because I have a shelf here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another conveyor belt and just do something like this. Get it to just launch it up there. Get our conveyor belts going across here. And now if we go ahead and just dig here, but probably if we go ahead and put some blocks there, that will help out as well. Can we get faster digging by any chance? No, we need 500 for that. That is alright. But we can go ahead and just clear out all of this here. This will slowly fill all this up. We've actually got something going on over here. We can go down a little bit further here. It's a little lip, or a dip as they call it. Okay, what do we got here? Shatterstone. It's destroyed by a laser gun. Okay. Interesting. Look how quick we can just collect a big chunk of resources. That's really good. So when playing the demo, you couldn't actually upgrade that. That wasn't upgradable. So that's really cool. Okay, there we go. We can grab a nice big chunk there. On that last little bit just there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a conveyor belt and run it just across there. Nothing fancy. I don't know exactly what's going to come out here just yet. So I might have to possibly keep that bit. No, we can leave it all sealed up for now. I don't know what it is yet, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead and just mine a little bit more here. See how high we can actually go here where the roof is for this little cave. Interesting, right about there. Oh, we have some more fluxrite too. It's good, I'll take that. Dig a bit of this out. Sometimes what I'm doing when I'm clearing out, I will actually just build something like this. I won't take out the walls. But what I'll do is I'll actually just build a massive cup sort of thing and then let it all fall on the conveyor. And just build a big bulk pile there, which I think is pretty cool. And once we start getting a lot more sand moving around, some of these lines will be extremely full, which would be pretty cool. Okay, so there isn't too much sand left for us to grab now. So we'll just finish mining out this last little bit and then we'll head back to the surface and we'll start making our next part. Get us onto our tier 3. Okay, so we'll head all the way up here. We'll have a look at our water level as well. We can see that our water level is actually building up here. On the one side. So it should hopefully hit a point where it actually stops filling it up. We start using more water than we are sand. So at the moment, that is definitely getting fairly full here. I might just take a chunk out of there for now. And just throw it onto this side just to help with that. But I don't really want this to fill up too much. I think we just need to get more sand out. I think that's our issue, which is going to be a little bit hard to do at the moment, I think. There's no way to really get any more sand out of here. 'Cause yeah, we got a lot of sand coming up. Actually, I think that's the last little bit there. Yeah, I think that's it. So there's not really too much more coming up now. But we do have a lot sitting there. It's slowly working its magic. So yeah, it's not really too much. We can let it keep going. Shouldn't be an issue. But we do have a lot of residue here. So let's go ahead and just start burning that. There we go. That will start burning and falling to the bottom. And what I like to do is I like to grab all of the residue that's down the bottom here that hasn't been touched. And I like to chuck it at the very top here so it does get burnt. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab something that only lets burnt residue through. Something like that. So if we grab our residue, for instance, we can see all that falls down. So now we've got a system with just residue. Got just burnt residue down here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a conveyor belt, run it along the bottom there, and run a block here that can go something like that. I'll grab all the residue out of there, I'll grab the conveyor belt out of there, and we'll build ourselves a I think it's research we need. We need the kinetic press. So this kinetic press turns burnt slag into more gold, which is what we want. The only thing is with that, we need to get it down over here. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is by... I almost think we can... get rid of this a little bit. We can actually knock out probably that. In fact, we could probably knock out all of that. Knock out that there. Build a little thing here and only say to let gold through. Now we're probably going to need a little bit bigger than that, so something like that. Grab our conveyor belt, chuck that across there. That will allow us to get our gold from over here up to there. So what we need to do is we need to build a new system here. So what we'll do is we'll grab a conveyor belt, chuck it in there. Only because we need it to go up the top here. And I'm just going to help get rid of it all by just chucking it up the top. Which it will slowly work its way to get up the top here. Okay. Now if I just get rid of this whole bottom here and set this up with a new conveyor belt running across there. Something to probably there. And go up one more. There we go. Grab our launcher. We can grab a second launcher. Chuck in another conveyor belt there. And we'll chuck in a couple of blocks just here to prevent it from going anywhere else. And that way we can't lose gold. Alright, from here we need to build our kinetic press that we've just unlocked. Where'd that just go? Kinetic press. So we'll build it something like here. Doesn't need to be too big. Just be something simple like that. We'll go ahead and chuck our wall in here. And we'll go ahead and just go something like this. And then something like that. Just to help catch all the excess stuff that comes through there. Now from here, we're going to get a couple different things. Well, we're going to get two different things. So first thing is going to be gold. So I want to create heaps of space for this just to make sure we do get all of our gold out of here. I'll build this down a little bit and then build our next holder here. This is going to be for our seeds. That's what we're going to get from here. So from that burnt slag, I won't build that just yet because we need to build our conveyor belt for our gold first. Before we do that, what I'm actually going to do is something like this, because we're probably going to have quite a bit of gold going across here very soon. So we'll think about the future a little bit. Okay, we'll chuck that up into there and we'll start seeing that burnt residue. It used to be called slag when it was in the demo. And as we can see, we've got the gold falling straight down there. And in fact, plenty of it. But that's crazy. We already get $4,000 already. Almost $5,000. So that's pretty cool to have a nice big chunk of money. We can also just go ahead and just burn this as well. It's still going to fall down and slowly work its way down the bottom. But look at all that gold that we've got falling down here. We've almost got a full conveyor belt already heading over there. But I do think the issue we're going to be having here in a minute is probably the amount of seeds that we've got coming down here that we can't seem to get rid of quick enough. So I'm going to build a secondary launcher here. One that's slightly higher, and then I'm just going to build that wall up a little bit higher. Should hopefully help get the seeds out of here before we start getting too many. Yeah, as you can see, we're pretty full on slag there. We've got all the gold coming in. Do we have much sand heading up anymore? Oh, there's still a little bit there. Go ahead and just chuck that all on this side. Still have plenty of water here. Yeah, look at all of that gold. We got heaps of it. So let's have a look what else we can get. So we can get a cryo blaster, we can get sweeper drones, we can get a thermal buffer. Interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab that there. So, no, we don't actually need to put it in. I don't mind just coming up here and burning it every now and then. When we start dealing with large amounts of sand and residue, we'll actually see a lot more residue here. And as you can see, it's still slowly burning, still slowly creating more. So it's one of those things that it might constantly run. Sometimes the fire might die out, sometimes it might just keep going. But we can see we've got plenty of burnt residue there heading up here. We could even grab a big clump of this and chuck all that in, and look at all that gold heading down. It's just incredible to see. Yep, there's heaps of gold there. In fact, it's even struggling to get rid of it all. So I'm going to have to build a few more conveyor belts here. That way we don't actually lose any of the gold here. Yeah, we're actually struggling to get it out as well. Okay. There we go. It's starting to go a little bit faster now. Especially when it's loaded up that much. Hopefully we can actually just load that whole chunk into it. I'm curious to see if that actually happens. We have a lot of gold, and we've also burnt all that residue as well. We've actually done our tier 3 now. I just want to have a look at this. If that whole mountain here will actually go through here. It's actually struggling a little bit. Actually just going to put a little block in there to try and help build it up. And what I'm actually going to do as well is build these launchers a little bit higher, I think. Chuck a few more blocks in here. Because that's going to be our slowest point here. The only way to make that really any faster is if we were to move it over one more again. Which we can do. The amount of gold we can grab now makes it a hell of a lot quicker. Chuck it all over to the other side. Just try and grab as much of this and move it over as quick as possible. And that way, hopefully, when I go ahead and get rid of some of these, like something like that, and chuck these new blocks in, it's not going to be too upset about it. Now we can always build this higher and higher and higher. There's no height limit that I'm aware of just yet. But it definitely doesn't mean there isn't one. Okay, so we can go ahead, just chuck that in there. Chuck that there. Grab a launcher and chuck it like there. Chuck it right there. There we go. Now we're getting through that gold a little bit quicker. Slowly working its way over. There we go. Look at how fast our cash is going up now. We're building that mountain back up pretty quick. And we have a lot of gold still heading over here. We're dealing with our last little bits of burnt residue now. But let's have a look at our new tier that we've got. So let's unlock that. We have unlocked the gun. We've unlocked the planter box. We've unlocked the clearing frame. Also unlocked fluids, which let's go ahead and do that straight off the bat. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to build a new system. So we'll get rid of that. In fact, we'll also just get rid of all of this here. We'll go ahead and grab these pumps as well. Build that back in. Alright, so liquid vents, we'll just chuck them up here. Like so. And we'll grab a few pumps. And I'm just going to chuck them in the bottom here. Like so. And then I'll grab a few pipes here. What these pipes will do is they'll transmit that water over to here. And to make that empty out a little bit quicker, we can actually just add some more pipes to it. There we go, and look how quick that water's emptying out of there. Now the whole reason I'm doing this is because I've got a new plan. We can go ahead and build this up a little bit higher as well. Can't be higher than that though. That is the maximum there. So I might even move these pumps to over here. So we will just cut them from there. And how do I place that down? Here we go. Chuck that all up into there. And we'll grab our pipes. And we'll get rid of those ones there. We'll run these across here. There we go. There we go. That will now fill up there. And we're slowly emptying out here. Okay. So for this new system that I want to run, I actually cannot run it yet. That's... Yeah, I can't run it yet. Now what else we got here? We've got the activity heat map. We've also got the digger drone, the vacuum, clearing frame, pyro dispenser, hero kinetic fan. Okay, let's start. Let's actually go down and do a bit more digging here. And if we fill this pit up with dirt, that is not going to be an issue for us. So we're just going to stop all this from running for now. We'll clear all of that out from there. We'll let it run down. That is all fine. Let's head down here a bit. Since we got our new weapon here, we are able to break into our new area here. Now we'll just go ahead and clear this whole blockade that we have. Beautiful. Go ahead and grab our flamethrower as well. We're just going to burn all of this moss because we don't like it. Burn the moss here. Burn the moss here. We'll get all of it lit up. Okay, now before I do any digging just yet, I'm going to place a belt straight across here to fill up onto our next belt. We can place this one Probably right about there will be fine, I think. It's not going to be an issue. And that way we can just start sending sand up there as we're digging. Now, one thing I do want to get with, once we mine all this flux right up, is the hydro grabber, which allows us to pick up water, um, which is going to help us out with a lot of different things. It helps us pick up, or allows us to pick up water, steam, and any other gases. It won't let us pick up lava or anything like that. It's a bit too hot for that, but we can pick up many other different things. So let's go to our upgrades, grab the hydro sponge, and we'll grab the we'll just hold off for that. I don't think we need to really get anything else from there. Yeah, we'll just hold off for now. Let's have a little dig down here, I think. Let's see what we got going on down here. One thing we did actually get is wall lanterns. Let's have a look at some of them. Or did I grab them? I don't think I actually did. There we go. I'll do it now. Go ahead and buy everything else there. We've got the cash to do it. So let's do it. Wall lanterns. Wall lights. Oh yeah, they come in all different colours. That's pretty cool. We can go ahead and place some just over here as well. Light up our area. Go ahead and light up in here as well. Okay, light up over here. We already know what's over there. Cool. We'll make our mine nice and colourful. Actually didn't realise I've got a bit of sand there. And what I'm actually going to do is hopefully get it before it comes out here, is I'm going to build that up. Just to actually make sure that that doesn't go down there. I'm not quite ready for anything to happen just yet with that. Not until I get a couple of other things first. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig this out. And then we'll put our conveyor belt going straight across here. Okay, here we go. We've got a few. Is that crackstone? No, that's indestructible. Okay, so we can't take anything from there. Oh, this goes down big time. I don't know where it goes though. Okay, we found another area. Oh, that goes. Whoa. What is that? A lumling. Whoa. Generates water. Interesting. I wonder if there's a way that we can, do you stay down here the whole time? Interesting. Okay, well all of our sand's going to fall down here anyway. So we'll go ahead and just clear this out for now. Yeah, in fact we'll just burn it. I don't really like this stuff here. What is this? Puff. Puff. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. When you hit it, it like retreats. Like that. We've unlocked another new area. What's in here? We've got some permafrost, or frostbed, I think they call it. And it looks like we've got ourselves some red soil. What is this? So we got some red sand. Now I remember playing with this in the demo here. This is stone. There is definitely something glowing around there. We've got frostbed. Actually, we have a little bit more. What do you call this stuff? We have a bit more fluxrite. Go and collect that. Let all this ice do its thing. Try not to turn it to steam if I can help it. Go. Slowly getting a pool of water now. Go. It's all melting. A little bit more there. I think that is it from there. Only issue is now I don't really want to break this permafrost because it's going to make ice. But we do have some water here. So we can go ahead and bring this over to here. I guess we can just chuck it into there with the lumling. There we go. Any more water around here? There's a little bit more there. Right, that's all of it. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna dig all this out now. There's not too much to dig here. Let's go ahead and do a bit of digging. I hope we can actually move these to the surface. That'd be pretty cool. Then we can actually put in like a fishbowl, pretty much, to hopefully allow us to have infinite water. We won't have to worry about steam. This moss stuff is very annoying though. I will definitely say that. Okay, well I guess we can head back up here and take out some of this stuff. Let's see how much we got here. Okay, so we have 659 all together. Wonder if we can actually upgrade our digging speed. Swarm expansion, increase maximum sweeper drone count 100 per level. I don't know what sweeper drones do. 100 per level. Wide sweep, increased material selection radius 5 plus cell per bonus. Guiding light lights up the area around the cursor while the sweeper drone is active. Let's have a quick look at what these sweeper drones actually are. If I do set drop off zone here. Whoa. Ah, I see. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's just a quick way to move a lot of stuff. $100 drones, that's 100 pixels per group of robots. Okay, we might actually grab, adds 5 cells per level. Swarm expansion. We'll go rapid fire as well. So, now you're telling me that if I wanted you to grab that and say drop it off into there, yeah, look how many there is. They're hooking in. Okay, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm pretty sure I've got more here. I can sort of pick up more a little bit quicker than them. It's still pretty cool to have. Pretty cool, pretty useful. Okay, so let's go ahead and chuck that up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little blockage in here. Just for now. I'm going to burn this moss away because this seems to be getting in the way everywhere I try to go. Okay, let's have a look what's going on in here. Oh, here we go. We have found lava. Lava is too hot to handle when in magma form underground. Find another way to pick it up. Okay, what do we got here? Destroyed by a rocket launcher. I don't think we have one of them. No, we don't. Okay. Oh, we do have some special stuff here. Go and pick this up. We also have some cracked stone just here as well, so let's go ahead and pick up our gun here. And just see where it leads. It leads straight out. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't lead too far, but it's a bit of a shortcut for us, I guess. That is snow. I wonder what happens if you chuck that on there. Oh. Makes scorer. Interesting. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and build a little hopper system here. And find where the center is. I'm going to say it's probably going to be right there. And we'll build the secondary behind it just to help out with anything that goes in there that shouldn't. And then we use the... Oh, whoa. How do I get you to just... Oh, they're shakers, that's why. And then I guess I'll get you to just go straight up here, like so. So hopefully now when I start mining down, it should hopefully fall into that system. But I will just have to clear this out first before anything happens. Otherwise it won't be going anywhere at all. I'm also just going to grab all this sand from here and just drop it straight down into that pit. And then dig a little bit more out of here. Just to clear all of this out. And hopefully we should see this system working. It's a little hopper. And as we're mining, it should hopefully just scoot down all the way to the bottom there. Grab all this sand here. Try and get most of it down there. There we go. Go ahead and chop a little bit more out of here. Yeah, so in this game there is a lot of digging until we can sort of get better tools and stuff. But as we slowly progress, we'll find new tools to help dig faster and to slowly be able to mine a bit more harder resources as well. We have a lot of sand building up down the bottom here though. Oh, some more flux right there, which is good to see. I'll take as much of that as I absolutely can. That is very good stuff. We might actually upgrade our shovel size, I think. Which I think we actually have enough near. Where is our shovel at? Here, digging speed, biggest shovel. We need 500 for the next one. That will upgrade our speed of our digging. I wonder if there's enough flux right here to actually get that. What do we need? 400. That's not quite. That sucks. There was a good chunk there though. Okay, I'll get rid of that sand that's on there and go ahead and start digging up some of this side now. Do have plenty of sand going up there though. Okay, what's this? That's indestructible, so we can't do anything with that. Okay, so that should still hopefully be clearing out that there. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build something just here to help get rid of some of this stuff here, because there is a lot of it here. There we go. And then I'll build a conveyor belt to connect up to there. And what I'll do is I'll build a wall up there. Put a block in there to help with it, to prevent it from falling down. And then I'll build another launcher just here. I'll build one that's slightly higher for when we start mining over here. I don't think we can go down any further just yet, because we need the rocket launcher there. Now we do have a lot of stuff here as well, so we can go ahead and throw all of this up. Man, there's a lot of sand in here. I forgot how much was in here. So we're collecting the water now. I don't really want the water. If I can just collect the wet sand. One less thing we'll have to do up the top. Oh, I guess I'll just grab anything else I possibly can. You know what? I can grab the rest of that sand. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we can mine over here. What if I click to do that? There we go. And we'll just start digging into here a little bit. Oh, we got another little secret in here. I grabbed that little bit of sand that's ended up in there. Um, Interesting. So it pushes me down. So can we use... Um, what can we do here? Combine a bit of the snow here. Actually, we can use the gun. There we go. Now I can cross across here and head up here, and we can grab this artifact here. So we'll get our argument forge, and let's go ahead and grab the 50% sprint boost. How fast we are now. Really quick now. Oh, okay, we got a bit of an issue here. Let's go ahead and just collect all that sand that's out in there. Throw it all back over here. Looks like we have a very big system pile up here. It's very big. Okay. So, looks like we have a lot of sand. Okay. So I guess we might... how are we going to do this? Actually, we can do this. This system will work. So, if we grab a filter that only allows... no, we can just grab a regular belt here. Yeah, we can just grab a regular belt. Grab that bit of sand out of there. And if we grab... We're going to have to try and separate this pump system here, though. So... in order to allow steam to go up, we'll build a little shaft here. And then we'll allow the water to come down here. And allow it in down the bottom here. Do we just allow it to go into maybe there? Because the water won't actually get lifted up. That's the good thing about it. Let's just see. Let's get a bit more water moving here. I'll just chuck that on top so it doesn't overfill at all. There we go. Okay, so if I were to grab this and let it start just throwing sand in. Yeah, perfect. so far, so good, I think. Because, yeah, having that second block just there prevents it from being any higher than here. So any dry sand that does end up over here will get covered in the water. Yeah, so I think that system's working so far. If we head up here, see we got the gold coming in, residue falling down. Okay, anyway, we can grow some flowers now for our tier 4, and we've got plenty of seeds to do that with. Um, One thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change this around just a little bit, only because we're going to be having probably a lot going through here gold-wise. So try and help out with that. I'll give it a little bit more room. Because we always do have this residue storage sitting literally just here. Or it's a little storage bank, but it can fill right up to here. So that's not going to be a issue at all. Okay, so yeah, that is gonna have to stop that. That was the one thing I was worried about. Yeah, okay. 'Cause yeah, that's not really changing at all. Even as the sand is slowly moving in there. Yeah, as the sand is slowly moving in there, it's still adding more water to it. Hmm. Okay, so what about if we did a similar thing here? Say if a sand goes through here and enters this way. Let's just see how this goes. That way anything that's already wet should hopefully be alright. The thing that's fine about it is water's not really going to go too far. Because there's always going to be that bit of dry sand that's sitting around. Okay, but let's go ahead and just make some seeds here. So what we need for that is a little bit of water. If we just go ahead and chuck some of these in here, we will then get our seeds. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little storage box here for wet seeds. I'm going to grab a little bit more water here. Okay, now from here we can go ahead and build ourselves a couple of planter boxes, and I'll just place them here. I'll the size of this down a little bit. Throw a couple of these in, and they will grow flowers for us. Now, sorry guys, just gonna have to move my knee around a little bit. Okay, so from here, what we do is grab a filter out the gold, and I'll just chuck these here to give them plenty of space. Move those out of the way. This is going to be for the gold, so the seeds can actually just move over this side for now. Cool. The gold's going to just run this way for now. Make it a little bit bigger. Chuck a couple of blocks in here. Chuck a couple of blocks in here. And chuck a few conveyor belts just here for the gold. So now as we burn these, we'll get two things. We'll get the gold, and we'll get these things called amethyst, amethyst, I think it's pronounced. They used to be called petals in the demo, so I don't know how to pronounce that. Amethyst, I think, is how it's pronounced. But we're going to go ahead and build ourselves a big storage box for these, because the amount of these we're going to have is going to be very big. So we'll build a dual system here for these. And they can all end up down into here. We'll place a conveyor belt there. We'll place our conveyor belts just here. Now the thing about these is they float down. They don't really fly down. So I want to try and keep these contained if I can. Like so. We can then go ahead and open this up. In fact, I might even just open this up a little bit more. Once the last of them go, there we go. Just to help out with a little bit of the stuff that's going to be flying around here. So one thing I'm going to be grabbing is these fans here. Well, I'll grab a bit of everything there, but these fans, if I put them on the roof and use them to blow down, they will actually help to get them to the ground quicker. And you'll see here, as I go ahead and grab a few more seeds here, I'll just grab a big clump there. Oh, that was a glow stick. It's not what I wanted. Go ahead and let that thing burn. Go ahead and grab some more seeds here, chuck them down. And probably go ahead and grab some more as well. And that's just going to constantly burn until it sort of runs out of seeds. But as you can see there, the amount of flowers that we already have is where the issue sort of lies with these. But we need to grow 4,000 of these, so it's going to take a little bit of time before we get to there yet. A little bit of gold there, we'll just collect that real quick. And I might just actually chuck that grow box back there, the planter box. Go ahead and light those things up real quick. But yeah, look at all the petals we've already got. So that fan is actually helping just blow the petals straight down. And then what I'll do is I'll actually grab another one and from here get them to blow that way. And then I'll grab another one to get them to blow over there. That will help push them away a little bit. So we sort of get an even stack here. And what is that? A seed has ended up in there. Throw that down. Go ahead and grab that whole bunch there. Throw that down there. Just let that grow. Look how quick it burns though. Then you'll have the case of the seeds just going around constantly doing their own thing. What I'm going to build here is in this little seed storage. I'm just going to build a little area that can pump water for me. Just to help out when I don't need to constantly go all the way back over here to collect water. And yeah, that can just connect up to there. That doesn't look good. It appears that the water has actually filled over the top. I mean, it's alright. So far, there's only wet sand going into the machine. There's no actual dry sand. Actually, there absolutely is dry sand in this machine. Okay. Interesting. The water doesn't seem to be going over the top of this, which is a good sign. But it's not necessarily letting it go either. I mean, there's not really too much left to process, but it is working nonetheless. There is definitely a lot of water in here though, or in there. I don't have any water up here. Why is that? I might actually just get might just knock that out real quick. I'll grab the pipes again and knock that out completely. And then I'll disconnect that and run it down here and run something like that, just to help for now. That should be right. Now if I have a look over here, we now have a full bin of water that we can just take and literally just chuck straight into there. Let's go ahead and just drop that big clump into there. Just see what happens. Definitely have a lot of seeds growing so far. Yeah, look at that. That's getting very dense. I think there was almost 100 flowers just there. And there's still more growing. So let's burn the rest of these off here. Grab some more water. We'll just chuck it into here for now. Let's throw some seeds on top of there for now. Chuck a big clump in there. We'll chuck a big clump in there. Yeah, we have a lot of residue coming through at the moment, which is good. Yeah, because we're probably going to burn that very shortly. Should have another seed that's made its way through somehow. I'm not 100% sure how it did that, but it did somehow make it work. Go ahead and burn all this again. In fact, we'll get some more seeds growing while we're waiting as well. Chuck some more seeds in there. Yeah, we're already at 1,000 pretty much now. But the amount of flowers is pretty much the issue now. They just gradually fall down. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of flowers here. So we'll go ahead and burn these ones now. And we'll go and grab some more seeds. Chuck them all in there so they can grow and do their thing. Chuck them down there. Might even just break that for a second, build up a little bit of water in there. And I'll go ahead and actually, not with that one, go ahead and just burn the residue so we can get more seeds going in here. And I'll go ahead and just block that up. And we'll go ahead and burn this again. Throw some more seeds in the bottom. But yeah, the way these stack are very interesting. See, once I get rid of that, they fall down. So I might try and put another one there. And another one just there, and possibly another one just there. There we go, that might help out a little bit, slow them down. I wonder if I can do something like that, if that will help push them up maybe. Not necessarily, no. If I can make like a fan elevator with them, that'd be probably pretty cool. But actually, what I could do is for all the ones that are in here to help push them over, at least something like that, and that will actually help get them out of here. Yeah, that's probably perfect right about there. Go ahead and grab all these wet seeds from here. Chuck them all in here. Go ahead and grab some more wet seeds and we'll fill up our little storage bin just here. Cool, and that should be all of the wet seeds in there now. Alright. Set all this on fire again. See all that gold fall down. Yeah, look at all the gold so far going down into here. Definitely building gold. Pretty quickly too. Which is good. It's not what I'm actually after. I'm just after seeds. What have I got there? Seeds. Drop them down. Grab some more, chuck them up in there. So we're halfway with our seeds now. There we go. I'll throw a couple more seeds down here. Preferably try and leave the gold up into here. There's another bit of gold just there. I just want to grab those couple there, and I'll grab a layer from here and chuck that in. There we go, and burn all those. Yeah, that's definitely working a lot better to get rid of those flowers, I think. And then I'll grab another layer, chuck those in. I really do wish they just grow straight up. They don't like to do that for some reason. Okay. Go ahead and set these bad boys on fire. Yeah, I think the best way is just to grab a bunch of them and chuck them in, let them grow, do their own thing. Try and space them around along the bottom as well. Whatever sort of gets out. Then set them all on fire and then they'll just constantly sort of grow. But I will put some more water into here. I don't know how much water we have left exactly, so let's go and have a quick look. We don't actually have much at all. But we did go through all of that sand. It doesn't look like any sand's made it over here, which is good so far. But that probably could definitely change, I reckon. Okay, that's probably enough water in there. I don't think it needs any more. Go ahead and grab some more seeds from here. We'll load up our little area here. Oh, that's water. That's not seeds. That's dry seeds. That's what I need, the wet seeds. Okay. There we go. Oh, we've actually got some more seeds in here as well. There's a couple more. We can just plant those real quick. Let those ones burn as well. And we're actually almost there. Just got to get 1,500 more now, and then we will be done. for this tier anyway. Let's throw a couple of these over here. There we go, it's throwing them well and truly over. Yeah, I think that's a lot better for us. The way that they're sort of getting flung straight over there. Because yeah, if we have a look, the way they sort of end up way over the other side, I think that works out a lot better for us, but in order to get them to stay over there, it's probably going to be the hard part. We've actually got a seed in here again. Not too sure how these seeds are ending up in here. Go ahead and burn those ones up the top there that are hiding as well. And I guess I'll build a little bit of something here to try and help keep the seeds off the top here. Alright, burn these, a couple here as well. There we go. Alright, so we'll grab some more seeds, chuck them in. We're so close now, we're not too far away. Yeah, I'll say we'll probably get this, and then we will we'll get the next episode going after. We'll probably finish this episode here, and then we'll see what we unlock in tier 4 in the next episode. We'll keep it a bit interesting. Right, so we'll chuck some more seeds into here. Just to keep this going. We can sort of keep the fire going. That's what I want. Yeah, look at that. I think that's the way to get it sort of continuing. Not that I can really see where these seeds are, more just trying to throw them and hope for the best, really. Can't really see exactly where they all are. That's not what I'm after. I think we might have enough now. If we can get there. Not too far away. Oh, we were so close. We just need 100 more seeds now. What I'm actually going to do as well is just chuck some fans blowing down here. Probably there. Just to help get rid of those flowers. I think that's gonna help out there. Just chuck that straight on there. Chuck a couple in the gap there. Chuck a couple over here. And let's get them burnt. There we go. We can see the flowers are being pushed straight to the bottom and straight out now. Okay. We have done it just like that. I'm not really too familiar how to automate this sort of system, only because with this stuff here, I don't really know how to get it to sort of just constantly do its own thing. I think that's making it harder for them to go through, so we can't really do that. It's going to have to let them naturally fall down from there. But yeah, we do have a lot of flowers here. Might just get rid of those there for now. There we go. They're all going to fall down. And we actually got some seeds in here that somehow worked their way in. So we'll just quickly get these ones. And then I think we'll pack it up from there. Go. There's a couple more stranglers around. Stragglers. There's one, there's another, and there's the last one. Alright, cool. Let's go have a quick look at our gold. Yeah, wow. So see how I've built that filter system? See how it's slowly working its way across now? That's so you don't get an issue with one area being too full. So it would have, if I were to just build this system like this and not actually have those belts along there, it would literally just build a system and it will just keep dumping here. It wouldn't even fill this side. So as it's working, it is slowly going to work its way along until this whole area is full. Probably going to have to build it up a lot higher though, because that's only 11,000 coins, and I'd say we're pretty close to halfway. It's a little bit more gold on its way. But yeah, that is Sandustry, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be making the next episode very soon. And yeah, very fun game. I definitely enjoy playing the demo and I'm loving this even more. So hopefully you guys are enjoying watching it as well. We do have a little bit of wet sand there. Get it to go straight up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please consider leaving a like as well as hitting that subscribe button. That way it gets my videos out to future people who enjoy watching this sort of content. With all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.